This presentation provides information about the BA Honours Degree Programme in Early Childhood Studies. My name is Sheila Carville and I'm Head of Early Childhood Studies here in Stranmillis University College. Most of the presentation will relate to our full-time mode of study here in Stranmillis, but I'll also make mention as we go along to the other programmes which we provide. The Foundation Degree in Early Childhood Studies in consortium with all of the regional colleges in Northern Ireland, and also the Masters, the MA in Early Childhood Studies, which again is provided here in Stranmillis. Where did Early Childhood Studies degrees come from? What is their context? Well, they're based in a range of legislative frameworks which relate to our society's treatment and provision for young children in the age range 0 to 8 years. We know that practitioners in the field of early childhood education and care have knowledge about young children. Much of that knowledge can be gained from their previous qualifications, mostly competence-based qualifications. So they have knowledge, but they need more knowledge. More knowledge to tackle the range of challenges that young children and their families face today. In addition to that, we know an increasing amount about how children learn and develop. And over the last 3 to 4 decades, the amount of research in the field of early childhood, all across the various disciplines which connect into our degree, medical disciplines, psychological disciplines, sociological disciplines, they all bring us research, and that leads our teaching. So we know an increasing amount about how young children learn and develop. And that brings us the challenge that to be competent as a practitioner with young children is simply not enough. We need to be able to link the theory of how young children think and learn and grow and develop with the practice that we know can work. We have to marry those two things together and create high quality provision for young children and their families. We do that amidst a challenging picture of developments, but also a changing picture of expansion, because any issue which society raises finds its roots and origins for intervention in early intervention. You'll often hear people say that. We should start early. And that's extremely a valid approach to take. But in doing that, we need people there as practitioners who have the highest levels of qualification so that they can address those challenges. And that's where Early Childhood Studies degrees began their journey. Stranmillis was at the forefront of that development in the late 1990s as it began to recruit people to the first Early Childhood Studies degree programme in Northern Ireland, and indeed at that time on the island of Ireland, with a recruitment of 75 entrants into the part-time pathway. Those people, as they came on board in the programme, were coming from that experiential background. Many of them had been away from education for many years, working in practice with young children and their families. So they found it a very refreshing approach to come back and take all of that practice-based experience that they had and to add it to the theoretical perspectives that their degree offered them the opportunity to explore. They graduated in the year 2000, and they were the first Early Childhood Studies graduates in Northern Ireland. And I'm very pleased to say that my career began with the production of that cohort of graduates. I often meet them now as I go around settings in Northern Ireland, and it's lovely to catch up with them. Stranmillis followed up on that part-time development with the full-time pathway development in 1999. And we've been committed to that dual mode of study ever since. So it's possible to study an Early Childhood Studies degree programme here in Stranmillis on a full-time basis, and also here in Stranmillis on a part-time basis. We also have collaborative provision with South West College in their Omagh campus and with Southern Regional College in their Newry campus. And those collaborative provision, they have cohorts of part-time students who are also studying alongside their Belfast counterparts. In 2007, Stranmillis was involved in the construction of a consortium of regional colleges to initiate a foundation degree in early childhood studies, a qualification at level 4 and level 5. And that consortium has been running very successfully ever since. It means that those people who wish to remain in their regional college following their level 3 qualifications for a short while can stay there to complete, in effect, the first stage of their degree pathway. And then, after they have finished in their regional college, to make a very successful transition to us, to articulate into our honours programme in what's generally referred to as a top-up degree programme. What do we do in our BA degree? Well, it's divided into 5 strands, and all of our modules link to these themes. The health and well-being of children is fundamental to their overall success. We cannot begin to think about the implementation of a curriculum if children are not in themselves healthy and secure. And early childhood graduates play a very important part in understanding how the practice and provision that they roll out can contribute to that aim. Of course, placement for our full-time students is central and core to what they do. They are not college-based. They are not doing an academic, disembedded qualification. Their honours degree programme here in Stranmillis is closely linked to the build-up of a practice-based experience through our placement activities. Of course, the professional communication and the relationships that our students learn how to develop and then experience the development of through placement is going to stand them in very good stead throughout their professional career. So in that particular strand, we concentrate on the best use of multidisciplinary practice with young children. Curriculum is also at the heart of what we do. So we want people to graduate from our programme and to be experts in the construction of curriculum for children from 0 through to 8. And underpinning all of that, they have an understanding of the psychological perspectives of how young children grow and develop, and that can be applied in their practice so that they make a really high quality experience for young children. Our full-time programme is 3 years long. Our part-time programme is possible to study in 4 years part-time. Those 2 pathways are equal in that they both contain 18 modules for students to study. That's made up of a mixture of mandatory modules, which we insist that everyone undertakes. Those are the core fundamental principles of early childhood studies work. And then optional modules, which are available to line up with people's own interest and their career aspirations. And interwoven in all of that is professional placement, whether our students are full-time here with us in Stranmillis or part-time. We feel that the package of modules which we have put together in our pathway gives people an enhanced choice. They have that practice-based experience, and our focus throughout the degree programme is on their employability skills. The degree, all of those modules, the structure that we have, is based on the concept of educare, the education and the care of young children. And it is our fundamental belief that you can't have one without the other. You can't educate a child without caring for them, and you can't care for a child without educating them. So we're providing that knowledge and those skills for those people who are working with young children. Overlaid throughout the programme is our degree enhancement policy. We ask our students to engage fully with the University College's degree enhancement programme, and we encourage that very strongly through the personal tutor system, our PDPs, personal development portfolios, where each student is assigned to a tutor to work in tutorial and in individual formats so that we are helping them to shape the direction of their career. Where will they be as graduates, qualified at level 6 in early childhood studies? So once people have completed our programme whether it is full-time here with us in Stranmillis or in the various guises of part-time mode of study. Where do they go? What do they do? Well, we're very pleased to say that we have a consistently high employment or postgraduate study rate. And for the last number of years, actually, we have reached 100%. All of our graduates are engaged in employment following graduation or in postgraduate study. So here are some results from a full-time and part-time combined cohort in the last year. 27.1% went to further study. 56.5% went to graduate employment. 12.9% went to a non-graduate employment. Mostly, we would argue, that's our part-time students who've decided to stay in their existing job for a little time while they rebuild and refocus their career aspiration. But the balance between that graduate employment rate and that non-graduate employment rate is very favourable indeed. The majority of our graduates are moving out into appropriate graduate level careers. Other, 3.5%, and due to the broad base of the degree and that multidisciplinary approach that we take to the development of the strands within the programme, we have a 0% unemployment rate. Some people do want to go and do a PGCE after their BA experience to gain qualified teacher status, and there are opportunities for that here in Stranmillis. But many also explore opportunities in other higher education institutions, including across the water in England. Some prefer to go to the social work route and to become qualified social workers, mostly through engagement in the programme at Queen's University. Other employments include play development workers with Bernardo's, managers in daycare facilities, Sure Start coordinators. The list goes on, but I'm just drawing out a few examples there to just direct your thinking to the types of jobs which people avail of after graduation. I'm picking out one student who gave me permission to use her photograph and her little career history here to demonstrate the flexibility of career which those with an early childhood studies degree can often pursue. Rachel graduated in 2015 and she was communicating with me and she gave me this little quotation here which I'm using. The PGCE route wasn't something that she automatically felt that she wanted to pursue. She was thinking more broadly in her career. During her final year, she undertook a placement in the ARC Sure Start facility in Armagh. And this was where she then found her home, if you like. She realised that this was the career that she wanted to pursue. So when she graduated, she initially began with a managerial position in a day nursery, and then went back to join the developmental programme for 2 to 3-year-olds in ARC Sure Start. Then she moved on to a play development role. And you can see that in this relatively short period of time since Rachel's graduation in 2015, she has had a variety of careers. And that's something that we're very proud of, the flexibility and the dynamic way that our graduates can engage in the employment market. What do all of our graduates do? Rachel's just one example. As practitioners, they play a vital role in the development of young children. They have a deep understanding of how young children learn and grow and develop. And that means that they can make a real difference to children and families and early years services. Ultimately, we believe that they are advocates for children. And overall, they ask more questions. Thank you.